Hello guys, today we are going through factors influencing demand. These are broadly divided into factors determining household demand and factors affecting market demand. Factors affecting household demand: there is Roman 1, the taste of the household; Roman 2, the income of the household; Roman 3, the necessity of the commodity and its alternative, if any; Roman 4, the price of other goods. Factors affecting the total market demand. They are broadly divided into determinants of demand and conditions of demand. A. Own price of the product. This is the most important determinant of demand. The determinants of demand other than price are referred to as the condition of demand. Changes in the price of a product bring about changes in quantity demanded, such that when the price falls, more is demanded. This can be illustrated mathematically as follows: QD equals A minus BP, where QD is quantity demanded, A is the factor by which price changes, P is the price, thus ceteris paribus, there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Thus, the normal demand curve slopes downward from left to right as follows. Prices of other related commodities. Related commodities can be complement or substitute. Complement of a commodity are those used or consumed with it. Suppose commodities A and B are complements and the price of A increased. This will lead to a fall in the quantity demanded of A and will in turn lead to a fall in the demand for B. Example are bread and butter or cars and petrol. Substitute. The substitute of a commodity are those that can be used to consume can be used or consumed in the place of the commodity. Suppose commodity X and Y are substitute. If the price of X increases, the quantity demanded of X falls and the demand of Y increases. The aggregate national income and its distribution among the population. In normal circumstances, as income goes up, the quantity demanded goes up. In such a case, the good is called a normal good. However, there are certain goods whose demand shall increase with income up to a certain point, then remain constant. In such a case, the good is called a necessity, e.g. salt. Also, there are some goods whose demand shall increase with income up to a certain point, then fall as the income continues to increase. In such a case, the good is called an inferior good. Tastes and preference. There is a direct relationship between quantity demanded and taste. For instance, if consumers' taste and preference changes in favor of a commodity, demand will increase. On the other hand, if taste and preference change against the commodity, e.g. due to changes in fashion, demand will fall. Taste and preference are influenced by religion, community background, academic background, environment, etc. Theories of demand and supply and consumer behavior. Okay, that's not supposed to be there. Or we go to expectation of future price changes. If it is believed that the price of a commodity is likely to be higher in the future than at present, then even though the price has already risen, more of the commodity may be bought at the higher price. Climatic or seasonal factors. Seasonal variations affect the demand of certain commodities such as cold drinks like soda and heavy clothing. the size and structure of population. Changes in population over time affect the demand for a commodity, and also as population increases, the population structure changes in such way that an increasing proportion of the population consists of young age group. This will lead to a relatively higher demand for those goods and services consumed mostly by young age group, e.g. fashion, films, nightclubs, schools, toys, etc. Government influences, a legislation requiring the wearing of seatbelts, advertising, especially the persuasive ones. Okay, now we move to exceptional demand curves. There are exemptions when more is demanded. When the price increases, this happens in case of inferior goods. Cheap necessary foodstuff provide one of the best examples of exceptional demand. When the price of such a commodity increases, the consumer may give up the less essential complement in an effort to continue consuming the same amount of the foodstuff, which will mean that he will spend more on it. He may find that there is some money left, and this he spends on more of the foodstuff, and thus ends up consuming more of it than before the price rise. A highly inferior good is called Giffen good, after Sir Robert Giffen. Articles of ostentation into brackets snob, appeal, or conspicuous consumption. There are some commodities that appear desirable only if they are expensive. In such cases, the consumers buy the goods or services to show off or impress others. When the price rises, it becomes more impressive to consume the product, and it may increase its consumption. Some articles of jewelry, perfumes, and fashion goods fall in this category. Speculative demand. If prices are rising rapidly, a rise in price may cause more of a commodity to be demanded for fear that prices may rise further. Alternatively, people may buy hoping to resell it at higher prices. In all these three cases, the demand curve will be positively sloped, i.e., the higher the prices, the greater the quantity bought. These demand curves are called reverse demand curves, also called perverse or abnormal demand curves. Types of demand. Demand is the amount of product buyers are willing and able to purchase at a given price over a particular period of time. A. Competitive demand. Commodities are substitutes. If one can be used in place of the other, substitute goods serve the same purpose and therefore compete for the consumer's income, e.g. Milo and Bonvita, butter and margarine, and others. A change in the price of one affects the demand of the other. B. Joint or complementary demand. Two or more goods are said to be jointly demanded when they must be consumed together to provide a given level of satisfaction, e.g. car and fuel, compact disc players, and CD. Perfect complementary goods. The consumer practically cannot do without the other, e.g. car and fuel. Imperfect complementary goods are where a consumer can do without the other as long as the substitute is obtained. For complementary demand, a change in the price of one good affects the demand for the other. If there should be an increase in the price of compact disc players, there will be decrease in demand for disc, other things being equal. C. Derived demand. When the demand for a commodity is derived from the demand for the final commodity, that commodity is said to have derived demand. Wood may be demanded for the purpose of manufacturing furniture and not for its own sake. Here the demand for wood is derived from the demand for furniture. Therefore, demand for wood is a derived demand. D. Composite demand. Composite demand applies to commodity which have several uses or are demanded for several and different purposes. Wood, as mentioned in the example above, is used for furniture, which includes tables, chairs, beds, doors, windows, and others. A change in demand for one of them will affect all the others. If there is an increase in demand for table, this will result in higher prices being paid for wood. The high price for wood will increase the cost of production of chairs, bed, windows, and doors, and any other thing for which wood is used in manufacturing. We move to movement along and shift of demand curves. There are basically two movement in demand curves, namely, 1. Movement along the demand curves. Movement along the demand curve are brought by changes in one price of the commodities. Then we have a graph. We have y-axis, x-axis. On the y-axis we have P1 and P2. P1 is slightly above P2. Q1 and Q2. We have Q1. Q1 is quantity 1, quantity 2. Quantity 1 is less and quantity 2 is more than Q1. We have A, B. We have a demand curve which is sloped downward. So it's P1 and Q1 meets at A, P2 and Q2 meets at B. When P1, which is when the price is P1, quantity is less. When the price is P2, quantity is more. Hence, demand is more at B than at A. So we go to explanation. When price falls from P1 to P2, quantity demanded increases from Q1 to Q2, and movement along the demand curve is from A to B. Conversely, when prices rise from P2 to P1, quantity demanded falls from Q2 to Q1, and movement along the demand curve is from B to A. From number 2, shift in demand curve. Shift in demand curve are brought about by the changes in factors like taste, prices of other related commodities, income, etc. Other than the price of the commodity, the change in the demand for the commodity is indicated by a shift to the right or left of the original demand curve. In the figure below, DD represents the initial demand before the changes. When the demand increases, the demand curve shifts to the right from position DD to position D2, D2. The quantity demanded at price P1 increases from Q1 to Q. It's called Q what? From Q1 to Q1 with an apostrophe. Conversely, a fall in demand is indicated by a shift to the left of the demand curve from D2 to DD. The quantity demanded at price P1 decreases from quantity 1 with an apostrophe to quantity 1. Yeah, and the graph is there. Yeah, we have P1, we have P2, we have Q1 with an apostrophe, Q2, and Q2 with an apostrophe. Then we have AB, we have D2, DD, whereby DD move to the right. Yeah. Then we move to elasticity of demand. Definition of elasticity. Elasticity is defined as the ratio of the relative change of one variable which is dependent to changes in another variable which is independent, or it's a percentage change of one variable given a 1% change in another. Then we move to elasticity of demand, which measures the extent to which the quantity demanded of a good respond to changes in one of the factors affecting demand. We have types of elasticity. One, price elasticity of demand. We move into it. Is the price elasticity of demand is the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to changes in prices. Its coefficient is PED, which is proportionate change in quantity demanded, proportionate change in price. Then we move to types of price elasticity of demand, and from there on we stop from there. Kindly subscribe, like and comment. Thank you.